Tears in my eyes as my daughter asked me the question once again. When will I get better? When will my eczema ever go away? She used to ask me this question, every single day almost at that point, and I felt helpless watching my young daughter suffer on a day-to-day basis with her severe eczema, and even and just being dependent on medications to get through the day. That desperation led me to functional medicine, and that's what healed her from the inside out, by addressing chronic illness at its roots. So if you are feeling hopeless about your health issues, about the challenges that you're facing, then this message is for you. My name is Anindita, and I'm a functional medicine certified health coach and a practitioner, and I work with women with severe chronic illnesses like autoimmune conditions, reverse their symptoms with their bodies as their guide. And today I'm sharing the story of our family, a story of letting go of fear, a story of finding hope in the most difficult of times, and never giving up hope in about a better future. That's what our story is about. Because have you ever felt desperate and helpless as you have been on your own healing journey? Have you ever felt that you cannot make sense of what is really going on in your life? Give me a thumbs up or drop an emoji if you have, because for us, for our family, that is exactly where we were about 10 years ago. And and it was kind of a wake-up call for me personally as a parent, as a mother, when my daughter was hospitalized with a life-threatening infection as a result of a medication given to manage her extremely severe eczema. And that sort of led me to where I am today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in below. I'm just sharing with you a story of letting go of your fears. And she, so coming back to my family, my daughter, she had been, on medications already for about 5 years at that point in time. And even then, even after taking medications, her eczema was still not under control, right? And it had become so severe that she had to be put on these medications at that age. And the darkest moments in our crisis was when a doctor started asking us, to sort of be prepared in case she needed a bone marrow transplant, because her bone marrow had completely shut down. That's what the side effect of that particular medication was. Each medication has a side effect, and I never knew what severe side effects actually could be like, right? So that was something that happened with us. And fortunately for us, she started recovering on her 7th birthday. In fact, I still remember that the nurses brought in this white fruit cake for her birthday in the ICU, because she was in the ICU for about 3 weeks. And they brought her this, a fruit cake, and we had some candles, and we celebrated her birthday. And I think it was also the rebirth of her, second life. Right? She got a new lease of life that day. And she came home. But the issue was that her eczema was still not under control. So she had again gone back to, she was again on the same medications, the same immunosuppressive medications, etc. And conventional medicine did not seem to offer her anything else, right? So at that point in time, I realized this. I mean, it was a huge wake-up call for me. Thank you, Aviana, for mentioning that, and thank you for joining. I'm just sharing our story to give you some ideas to how you can actually take charge of your healing journey, because this wake-up call helped me to do just that, right? It was something that, I felt desperate, I felt helpless. If you felt this way, let me know, give me a thumbs up, because that's how we feel, right? When we are dealing with any kind of chronic illness, we feel that, and when things are not going our way, when you're not able to get the answers, it's really, really hard to keep going, right? But this time I was determined to find a way to help her, right? I was not going to sit by the sidelines and just keep focusing on medications, etc., treatments, because I knew that they had their limitations. And by that time I realized that. So I started doing my own research, and it took me about a year of research to literally stumble across functional medicine, and I'm talking about it, it was way back in 2014, right? It was completely new in India, and it's still actually not really very well known. Yeah, Viana, just drop in your question. I will be answering that, right? And so, to cut a long story short, things are under control now. We have learned what helps to manage flare-ups, prevent flare-ups. And that's true for any kind of chronic illness that you might be having, right? It's not about which illness you have. It's about finding ways, finding answers, finding solutions, and most importantly, figuring out what the root causes are so that you can address them, right? So that's what it is. And the journey towards finding a way to help my daughter led me towards functional medicine and functional medicine health coaching. And then and then now there are countless other people that I work with, and I worked with since 2017. And I got certified in 2016, and I started working in 17. Then I got another certification, and I started working with all kinds of people with all kinds of illnesses. But now actually I focus on primarily on immune dysregulation or autoimmune conditions, chronic illnesses. They go hand in hand. So Viana, to answer your question, I practice in Mumbai, but actually my clinic is pretty much online. And you can check out my website. It's ananditarungta.com, the same as the Instagram handle, right? So you can check it out. All the information is there. And if you need any kind of support or you want to schedule a call, just send me a DM. I'll send you a link after the call. So what I want to come back to is this: letting go of your fear and dealing with a chronic illness means that you don't simply rely on what others are telling you, right? Because that's usually what we have been brought up to believe, and we are conditioned to sort of give our responsibility of taking care of our own health to others. And we do not really learn how to be guided by our own intuition, right? We knew that when we were very small, but we somehow forgot about it. So you need to find a way to remember how to be guided by your own intuition, by your body's wisdom, right? Your body is constantly sending you messages every single day in the form of symptoms. In functional medicine, we call we say that these symptoms are a gift. And the reason they are a gift, especially if we can sort of listen to our body's messages right at the beginning or onset of disease, we can actually prevent a lot of pain and suffering, right? That's the reason we call them a gift. So for example, if you're having any kind of gut issues, right, the minor issues, etc., then even that seemingly unrelated headache, joint pain, maybe a bit of constipation, so all kinds of seemingly unrelated symptoms, we either are told to sort of medicate so that we can suppress them, or we simply ignore them till they go away, right? That's not what you should be doing. What we need to be doing is to understand what our body is trying to tell us, right? And this is how you take control of your healing. This is exactly how you find a way to understand what needs to be done, and that should never only depend on external factors like tests. Of course, tests are important. They give you a diagnosis, they give you a line of treatment. But as I realized with my daughter's health issues, even knowing that she had eczema, even knowing that these were the issues, it didn't really help me, because even getting the name or the diagnosis is not enough, right? It's a start, and we need to know, because we need to take certain medications to prevent further damage, and that's important. Of course, it's never I completely believe that it's not either or. It's yes and. Yes, we need to do this, and we need to do that. So yes, we need to get a diagnosis and figure out what's happening so that we can start dealing with it, maybe take medications, but we also need to understand what's going on, what has led to this point in time, right? So this is how you take control of your healing. This is how you take charge, right? This is how you get better, because healing happens at a physical, spiritual and emotional level, and you need to take that into account. And this journey is different for each person, so you need to find a way that works for you. For me, it meant that I needed to I read books on mindfulness, healing, all kinds of modalities. So for me, it looked like that. For you, it will look very different, right? So you need to find a way to understand what is going to work for you, what you believe in, and how you can take charge, right? So, but you can start by doing this one thing today, that accepting responsibility for your own healing, not for the disease but for the healing process, right? And slowly but relearning and remembering to start trusting your body's guidance and your body's wisdom, and start by listening to it. That is how you take charge, right? And one thing that I want you to leave you with, so that you have one practical step to do that from today, is to keep a journal, right? It's a tracker, it's a kind of a tracker, it's a symptom tracker, mood tracker. It depends on what you want to track, energy tracker. So you can start tracking the foods that you're consuming and how that's making you feel. If you have neurological symptoms, how are your energy levels, so just tracking it, even if it's just for 2 weeks to 4 weeks, like a month, that itself can be quite revealing, right? So learning to let go of your fear starts with learning to trust yourself, right? And when you can do that, when you can accept this truth, that is when you start taking control of your healing, right? No matter what your condition is. My name is Anindita, and I'm a functional medicine certified health coach and practitioner, and I'm happy to help you here. If this session resonated with you, share it with somebody who needs to see this message today. And Aviana, I'm going to get in touch with me and send me a DM so that I can send you a link to schedule a call.